Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chabruggi, and I'm back this week. So, again with me is Derek down in Arizona. How's things going down there, Derek?
Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, you were gone last week. I just remembered that. I just
Yeah,
remembered that you were gone last week. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Christopher Unruh in the house. What's up,
And
buddy?
again, I want
Chiming
to
in
thank you
early.
guys for covering for me last week while I was dealing with a situation with my daughter and
Yeah, man. Anytime.
still dealing with a little bit of stuff, but hopefully we can get it ironed out here pretty soon.
Someday I'll forgive you for making me hang out with Brandon for an hour.
And yeah, she's doing okay. She's kind of sick right now, and we're waiting on results from a COVID test. But other than that, she's doing okay.
Yeah, man. It's going around. It's going
Yeah,
around. Lori,
yeah,
we got Roxanne Fisher Jackson, Southeast
yeah.
Oklahoma. Lori Hayes from Hayes. What's up?
Yeah.
Diane Hayden says, "Welcome back, Ricky."
Thank you, Diana. Oh, it's good to be back.
Trisha Arnold holding down the YouTube.
Kind of a bad
And
deal
there
to be able
is
to sit there and
two
watch it from where I was at and not being able to
There's
be
two
part of it.
people on YouTube. Oh,
Cool.
you were watching from where you were at?
Yeah, I was watching from the hospital.
I thought Brandon did a really good job.
Yeah.
For sure, Sandra.
I don't know if my ex-wife's going to be watching tonight or not. We'll just have to wait and see because I just found out during the course of the week that she's down with COVID. My younger daughter that lives with her is down with COVID. So we'll have to see if my ex is going to join us this week or not. She's doing okay. I talked to her this afternoon. She's doing better. She's vaccinated. So,
Oh,
you
she's
know,
vaccinated?
yeah, she's vaccinated. I think my younger daughter's got her first shot. My older daughter just got her first shot last Tuesday. So,
Wow. We got Lansing in the house. There's not a lot of people in here tonight.
hopefully that will pick up soon. We got a heck of a show
Yeah,
that
we
we're
got a
going to
lot of
be
cases to cover. Hopefully we get some
talking
people
about
in here.
tonight.
Junction City in the house.
Sir, we had to change the preview, but the individual we had on the preview before was located safe, thankfully. So we
See,
had to
but
change things
honestly,
up a
man,
little bit.
I've made a game out of that. I really have.
Oh,
What
have
I do for the past like 3 or 4 weeks, for the past like 4 or 5 weeks, I'll go on the Facebook page and I'll look for like whoever's been missing the longest. Maybe not a cold case, but the one I chose this week, she's been missing since like the 5th. Like she's been missing for a little while. And so I was like, okay, I'll pick her. But every time I pick somebody, I make a little like, I'm like, they're gonna get found before the show. And honestly, you would think that I would be mad that I had to change the name of the show
mm-hmm.
every week for the last 5 weeks, but that is awesome that we had to change the name of the entire show because somebody was found safe. So it's totally worth it to have to change the name. And I feel like every week when I pick somebody, the last 4 weeks, they have been found safe before the show aired. So maybe that's a sign.
Right.
And like I said, I try to pick the oldest case to go back to. And like so I said, last 4 weeks, they've all been found before show day. So Dennis
Yeah.
Rubble in the house, check out his YouTube page.
Dennis Rubel, yeah.
Oh, Rubel, I'm sorry
Hey,
about that.
Dennis, how you doing tonight? And the ironic thing is, you asked me to send you one to put in his place before you did the I-70, and the one that I sent you to have you do, he was found today too, safe. So,
Really? Wow.
so yeah, I was like, okay, well, good. He was found safe too.
Ooh, Ulysses, Kansas. Alex
I'm hoping we
Frez.
got a pretty good size look at his safe reel tonight because I've been
We do.
updating them left and right this last few days. So
We got a great unlocated safe tonight. We got Emporia in the house. Becca Joe B in Wichita, Kansas. How you
that's a
doing,
new one.
Becca?
That's a new
Yeah, I
one.
haven't
I haven't
seen
seen
her
her name
before.
before.
We got Kim watching from Newton.
Hey, Kim.
Awesome. Trisha says she shared to some groups on her page.
Awesome.
Mondi's in the house. We
Hey,
see Mondi
Mondi.
every week. Todd's in the house. We got Chase A. Kennedy said Bella Plain. Are they tagging
Belle
somebody?
Plains. Yeah.
Oh, is that a town?
Belle Plains is a town. It's just south of Wichita.
Okay, Lawrence, Kansas in the house. Yeah, I'm going to every week. I knew it was going to happen. I made this show like 3 days ago,
Yeah.
and that girl had been missing since like the 5th or 4th, and I was like, they're going to find her before the show airs. I'm going to have to change this.
Yeah.
And then luckily, talking about changing the show title, luckily, they're putting a new sketch out of the I-70 killer.
Yeah. Yeah, you sent me that, and I was like, oh, wow, I hadn't seen that yet.
And it's probably the best sketch I've seen so far in that series of sketches. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Those
It
first
is.
couple of sketches they didn't look like a person, but again, they were just
Right.
going based off of somebody's you know, memory and
Yeah,
stuff. But yeah, these new sketches, which we're going to cover here in a little bit, I feel like they're pretty detailed.
yeah. They took one of the old sketches and age enhanced it and kind of
Yeah,
tweaked the hair color, added some facial hair.
yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Farmington,
Hopefully
Missouri in
it'll
the
drive
house.
some tips. Hopefully it'll drive some information.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that person's been getting away with this stuff for way, way, way too
Oh
long.
yeah, that's enough. I think they're either in jail because I don't know how somebody would just stop. I think there's a chance they're in jail or
Yeah,
dead too.
yeah, yeah,
'Cause I don't think people just stop being dirtbags. We got Topeka, Kansas in the house. We got Osage City. We got Hutchinson. Listen up, folks. We have got an action-packed show for you tonight. We do want to talk about some current events before we get going into the
yeah.
cases. So Ricky, what's his name? I try not to learn alleged murderers' names and make them famous. So what is the Gabby Petito guy's name? Because apparently they
No,
found his
Brian
body today,
Laundrie.
right? Or
Yeah,
recently.
Brian Laundrie. They found remains on Wednesday, along with a backpack and a notebook and another bag of his items, I believe. But they confirmed today through dental records that it was definitely Brian Laundrie's remains that they found, and they said that what they had found was bones.
Bones.
So
See, my
apparently
thinking is
he
this.
decomposed fairly quickly.
Yeah, but she would, before she was like that whole time that people were looking for Gabby, she was already gone. I think from the timeline, from what it looked like how long she had been, her body had been there.
Yeah,
My thinking with him is he's probably been there equally as long as we've been looking for him.
yeah,
And I just think that when you hear that when he was found by himself and all you found was bones and he had just allegedly maybe done something terrible to somebody we all thought he cared about, you start thinking maybe suicide, like
yeah.
and or Dog the Bounty Hunter got him, which is I was telling Brandon because he was looking for him, but
Right.
it's probably and if it is true, like if that's the way things played out, if he did do something to Gabby and he did take his own life, is a cowardly thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. My thing is, they said there was a notebook found with the backpack and other stuff. And what I'm curious about with that notebook, if it hasn't been water damaged, because they were saying they had tried to search that area before and it was submerged and whatever. But my thing is with this notebook, is there anything written in this notebook? Did
Right.
he leave some kind of an explanation or an apology behind? I mean, are we ever going to hear about that? I don't know. But it's something I got to think about because when they said notebook, my ears perked up and I was like, I wonder what could be in that.
I mean,
You
why
know?
even mention a notebook unless there's something in there,
Yeah, yeah.
Mondi
Yeah.
says the heat in Florida probably sped that process
That
up,
could
but I
be.
mean, it's
Could
cooled
be.
off recently though. But
It
when he
could be.
first went missing, it was hot.
Yeah.
Don
Yeah.
Johnson's saying, "Here's my grandson's Shyland Lakin. He's missing. Do we have a flyer for Shyland?"
Let me take a peek at my little files here and we'll find out.
We're not sure about that one, but yeah.
Oh, looking
So
here.
that's going on. So he's been found deceased. So
I do not have anything in my file for him, so I don't believe I do.
Don, send a private message to the Kansas Missing and Unsolved page or the Missouri Missing and Unsolved, wherever you're watching this show.
Yeah,
And we can get a flyer made up for next week's show, which will be
definitely,
Tuesday.
definitely.
So
I'll get it made and posted tonight after the show, and then if he's still missing when we get around to the show Tuesday, then we'll cover him on the show Tuesday.
okay. Okay. All right. Let me see. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. We have quite a bit of stuff to cover, and we have a great located safe reel for everybody tonight. So it's going to be good. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast, and you're listening to it also because people listen to this show too. We'll be right
If you're
back after
listening to it
this.
on your favorite podcast format, you're listening, yes.
Yeah.
If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, please call the National Human Trafficking Line at 1-888-373-7888.
And Kelly says, "Yeah, I'm not too late. I don't think. Hope everything is going good. So far, so good, Kelly." And Alex Perez, we're going to cover him first. He's missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st of 2020. He was 35 when he went missing. He now be 36. He is 5'11", weighs 235. His black hair. He shaves bald and brown eyes. He had contacted a family member via the telephone on December 1st and advised he would be coming over to do some laundry. He never arrived at that family member's home, and he's not been heard from or seen since that time. He had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. Initially, it was believed that he may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City area or surrounding areas. But since then, some not so good information has come out about what might have happened to him in the form of an online post, but we're not sure if that's legit or accurate, so we won't even get into that. But again, he was 35 when he went missing. He'd now be 36. He's 5'11", weighs 235, black hair that he shaves off, and brown eyes. He has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He has Perez tattooed on one of his arms. He has a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. And I was grateful to get those photos. I keep mentioning that, but I'm grateful that I got those photos because I wanted to have them on there. If you have any information regarding Alex's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't generate some information to help bring Alex home. It's been far, far too long.
Yeah.
Far, far too long.
Getting too close to a year.
Yeah, coming up on a year.
Good evening, Vista.
Hey, Vista, how you doing?
Kelly Uphoff, that means that you've been following this page for a year. So I guess we don't see that stuff, but it says she's an anniversary follower.
I'm not sure what that is. That's
Kelly.
the first I've heard of that terminology. I don't know.
It's basically it's Facebook's basically way of saying, hey, Kelly, you've been watching this show for a year.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Thank you for watching this show for a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely. Thank you. Way too long for my nephew, Alex. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we're going to keep showing this flyer until we know what's going on.
Excuse me.
It's okay, Curry. Actually, Ricky wasn't even here last week, so a lot of people missed last week's show.
Yeah, I had to deal with a situation with my daughter, and so I couldn't be here.
Kelly, you should feel special. You are an anniversary follower. She says we have a lot of answers. See that? That's what I'm saying. I wish we could see that. If you're an anniversary follower or if you're a top fan or any of that stuff, write in the comments what you are, because I'm interested in that. Because I know we have top fans and we have, all that kind of stuff. So she says me. Oh, see, Emma's a top fan. I mean, is a anniversary follower. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you all for being a part of it for a year. Let's talk about Marcus Ray Bachman now. We've been covering him for 3 weeks now. But, this one's pretty serious because, Ricky will go into the case, but a lot of people worried about Marcus.
Yeah. He is missing from Shawnee County, Kansas. It's September 23rd of 2021. He was 34 when he went missing. He's now 35. He's 5'9", 200 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. He was last seen in Shawnee County, Kansas at approximately 10 p.m. He was last seen walking at that time. He is originally from Frankfort, Indiana, but has ties to Wabaunsee and Dickinson counties in Kansas. Again, he was 34 when he went missing. He's now 35. He is 5'9", weighs 200 pounds, has brown hair, brown eyes, has a large tattoo on his right leg, which is pictured above. It's actually a drawing of the tattoo, but that's the tattoo on his right leg there. And he has a Superman emblem on tattoo on his left leg. He has a surgical scar in the front of his head from having his cyst removed. And sadly, he does have a history of huffing air dusters and alcohol abuse. He was last seen wearing a baseball-style hat, orange T-shirt, blue jeans, and black shoes, which is basically that above right-hand picture there where he's holding the water bottle there. If you have any information regarding Marcus's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Shawnee County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 785-251-2200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And I've been speaking with his wife off and on over the last week, and she is seriously worried and concerned about his well-being. Really wants to, see that he's found safe.
Yeah.
Sure, y'all didn't miss my phone last week. That's for sure.
I'm worried about Marcus, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear he's huffing air duster. I mean, I watched I watched that show Intervention. They actually had a case of and that stuff really messes with you. First of all, it impairs your judgment, really bad. But second of all, how is that healthy for your lungs and body? Huffing a computer product. So it's just a very it's just a very destructive behavior. And if that's what Marcus was abusing and choosing to spray air duster into his lungs, and I just feel like he was in a bad place. And I just hope he's safe, and I hope he finds some answers, and I hope he can sort of figure out how to find comfort in his discomfort, because if huffing air duster is just not the way. That's just like I said, I watched that one episode and that girl was doing it, and it really messes people up for a long time, and who knows what the permanent damage is. So yeah, Marcus, if you're out there and you're watching this, first of all, call somebody, let them know you're safe. And I'm not a doctor, but I would suggest checking yourself in somewhere. Tell them you need some help.
Definitely. Yeah, hopefully he's okay wherever he's located. Hopefully he's all right.
And there is help out there, Marcus. I mean, you can just go to if it's that bad, you can just go to an ER and tell them I need help. I don't feel well.
Oh my! Check this one out from Vista. Had a couple huffing. They got in a wreck, went over a bridge, and they survived. It was around Chanute.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Okay, wow. I got to go through all these real quick because there's a lot.
Yeah, there
is a top fan. Emma's an anniversary follower. Connie, we will try to cover Kenny. We'll try to I will try. Ricky, if you can actually get Brandon a flyer or Kenny real quick, that'd be an easy one to do.
Okay.
While I'm going through all these, Dennis is a top fan, and I am so happy about that. Vista is an anniversary follower. Kim is a top fan +1, which means she's a top fan, and she is an anniversary follower. And Roxanne is a top fan, and then Andrea went from top fan to anniversary follower. I think then that would have probably looks like to other people, Andrea, is that you're a top fan +1. Mondi is an anniversary follower. Haley is a top fan. Dottie is a top fan. Oh, Trisha had to come over to Facebook. Yes, she is a top fan. An anniversary follower.
That's cool. I like to see all that. That is really awesome to see the top fans and the anniversary fans.
Yeah, that's really cool. It says Mondi says, I think I have seen comments that he has been seen around Topeka. Is that we're talking about Marcus here?
I'm not sure.
I think that's who we would have been talking about most recently. Mondi, she said yes. Yeah. Okay. I hope he's in Topeka. I hope he's, somewhere.
Well, whoever commented that, I hope that whoever commented that has called that into police so they can check into that.
Yeah. Vista, we're proud that you're a part of this group. We really appreciate all of you that show up every week and everybody that shares the flyers. It's just really cool to see people really care about other people. Just spend a little bit of your time in your day helping share flyers and stopping by here and checking stuff out. Just stuff like that. So we really appreciate everybody. But let's go ahead and go on to another case here. We're going to talk about Annabelle Kinney.
Okay, and I did send Kenny's flyer over in Messenger to Brandon.
Okay.
So, yes, Annabelle Kinney is missing from Wichita, Kansas since October 12, 2021. She's 15 years old. She is 5'3", 145 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. She was last seen leaving her family home that night, and her ears are pierced. Again, she's 15, 5'3", 145, brown hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Annabelle's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get some information generated as to where Annabelle is and get her back home safely.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do that.
typing messages to our producer, telling him sorry for making him work. I was like, hey man, we need a Kenny flyer. Oh, my bad. But no. No, and the reason what I was just explaining to Brandon backstage is that we need a Kenny flyer anyway, because we have a Kenny Right Check flyer, but not the way Brandon makes flyers, and his flyers are way better. So, and Kenny's one of those ones, Ricky, that I'm pretty sure that was the first case I covered with you. Like he was on the very first show we did. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Because I remember, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because I remember when we first met, you were really into Kenny Right Check because it was fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of like Alexander Perez, some of these cases, we've been doing the show a year and a half or whatever it is and some change. But, there's a lot of people that are still missing. And Kenny's basically went missing when this podcast sort of was created. So, we definitely want to, keep an eye out for him. Let's talk about Davian.
Okay. So I can find his flyer real fast. I got such a long list. Okay, Davian Broaddrick, missing from Kansas City, Kansas since October 18th of 2021. He's 15 years old. He is 5 foot, weighs between 100 and 110 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. If anybody has any information regarding Davian's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get him brought home safely where he needs to be. Yeah, and Vista brings up a good point. It is starting to get chillier out at night, and these little ones need to be found and get them back home. Yeah, please, people, speak up if you know where they are and let someone know. Definitely, I agree with you completely on that one, Vista. Because it is starting to get chillier here, and well, matter of fact, last night it dipped down to about 39 here last night. So it is getting chilly. Could you maybe make a comment on that? And this is from Carrie Opat. Could you make maybe comment on that post and tell whoever saw him to call the police that they saw him and when and where so he can be found safe? Just a thought. It's a good idea. Definitely.
Yeah. Diana's saying it's supposed to be colder than usual this winter. I believe it.
Yeah. The last couple of nights as cold as it's been, I'm beginning to wonder about that.
Wow.
As like I said last night, it dipped down to 39. I took the dogs out and I was like, holy crap.
See, that's 39 degrees is prime open the window weather in Derek Rutherford's house. We open the windows right up at 39. I like being cold. But no, I'm glad we're covering this case. Everybody give Brandon some love in the chat. He just made a flyer in 90 seconds. So give Brandon some love in the chat. Let's see some hearts for Brandon. Let's talk about Mr. Kenneth Right Check.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that greatly. Kenny's been missing. Kenny went missing from Salina, Kansas on November 4th of 2019. He was 69 when he went missing. He would now be 71. He is 5'9". He weighs 175 pounds. He has gray hair and blue eyes. Remember when his hair used to be red. He suffers from diminished mental health capabilities and is on disability, but he has not tried to access any of his money since he was last seen. The initial information that came out on this, and I have to reword this flyer, it says he's been known to frequently visit Salina. He's lived in Salina for a long number of years. I've made this known plenty of times. When I was probably 14, 15 years old, I used to run into him at the corner gas stations while he was playing pinball and playing video games, or just standing there visiting with people, and I'd stand there and visit with him and stuff too. And he's the nicest, one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. He'd sit there and talk to anybody and everybody. And it just baffles me that he's gone missing like he has. And I'd really like to see him be found and hopefully safe. But I mean, it's been coming up on 2 years, and this last winter we had, beginning of this year, was so deadly cold that I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't have a cell phone or a vehicle. He had a bicycle, and there's been some conflicting information on whether he had it or whether it was stolen. And he got another one, whether the new, just all kinds of stuff. But I know he had a bicycle. He used to push it around all over town. He used to go to Salina Iron and Metal, which has been renamed here recently, over on North 5th over there. He would pick up scrap metal here and there and take it over, cash it in for extra money. And I've talked to them quite a few times because I have a storage facility that I pay on every month, and that's where I pay it. And they said they haven't seen him for quite a very long time as well. But again, when he went missing, he was 69. He's now 71. He's 5'9", weighs about 175. He has gray hair and blue eyes. And if anybody has any information regarding Kenny's disappearance, call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210, or again, KBI 785-296-4017, and see if we can't help figure out what happened to Kenny and where he's at, and hopefully he's okay. Like I say, he's probably one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet.
Well, I want to talk about that. We're getting some comments for those podcast listeners.
Yeah.
Carrie says that Kenny is such a nice man. He used to give my sons candy. Connie Judd says he used to live close to me when I was a kid, 50 plus years. She's known Kenny for 50 plus years. Dennis is coming in saying that he's going to see what they can do to help on Kenny's case.
Awesome,
so I
Dennis.
think that
Thank
means
you.
that maybe
Thank
Dennis
you.
might do a video, and that's
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is how it works. If stuff spreads, you guys. Dennis
I'll
says
get with
he
you
told
on
his
that, Dennis.
YouTube people, and by the way, check out Dennis's YouTube channel. It's great
Yeah.
stuff. He's covering a lot of good cases.
Yeah. Muddy Waters Rescue and Recovery is the name of it.
And everybody check that out. Diana, talking about Kenny, says he used to garden and share his bounty with anyone who thought that needed it.
That's cool.
And then we got
That's
a little
cool.
bit of love here. We got Carrie saying
Yeah.
thank you to Brandon. Emma sending some hearts. Tracy says, way to go, Brandon.
You know, it's like the flyer was saying, he suffers from diminished mental capabilities. And I remember when I was, back when I was a teenager and I used to see him at these gas stations and stuff, people can be cruel, and I remember there were certain people that would, I don't know their names or anything, but there were certain people that would make fun of him, call him Kenny Reject and things like that. And I hated that. It was like, why would you do that? This guy was the nicest guy I'd ever met, everyone to meet. Didn't say a cross word to anybody, would stop and visit with anybody and everybody, and people call stupid names like that. I mean, it was just really, really stupid,
Yeah.
And they do think he may have family up in the Colby, Kansas area. And they thought maybe at one point in time, maybe he was going that direction. I had heard that at one point, police thought maybe he might have been going to Wichita, but that's never been confirmed. So I don't know. Yep, Brandon does do awesome work, Dennis. You're right. But Dennis, if you need anything from me regarding Kenny's case, get with me after the show. And I pretty much talked about everything I know. But if I can help, maybe pinpoint any other things, let me know. And I've been trying to figure out how to get an organized search going to look for Kenny. We tried doing one on our own, and we didn't come up with anything. But there was very, very few of us. So
right.
And I wasn't even really there because I had to work, so I couldn't get away for it. But I tried to help organize it from online and everything, and try to keep it going from where I was at work. But
Mondi, I believe, is talking about Marcus. She says the comment was addressed to his wife. She has definitely been beating the pavement looking for him. He suffers from schizophrenia, and she's very worried about him.
Yeah.
And then Mondi says she's going off memory, so she could be wrong. But
okay.
She said, Kelly says, people are so rude and disrespectful these days and cause unnecessary hardships for people sometimes. I think so. But like, I remember growing up, I had a bully that went out of his way to like make my life miserable. Just really, I spent a lot of my childhood having a really rough time because this guy would pick on me. And the worst part was he was younger than me and smaller than me, but he had a bunch of big friends, so I couldn't do anything.
Right.
But then, like, I don't know, when we were like 20, he came up to me and he was just like, hey, I'm really sorry for, he's like, and I just thought about it. We had to talk, and he didn't have a great upbringing. He was kind of getting bullied by his parents, So I don't know. I feel like people can be cruel, but I think what the thing at the end of the day is learn from it. If you see people acting like that, try to, if you can intervene, at least teach your young people, just be like, hey, you don't need to say this. That's unnecessary. Right. Nobody's saying you have to love everybody. Nobody's saying you have to like everybody. Why be unnecessarily cruel to another beating heart? Why?
Yeah, definitely. Some other information on Kenny that I just remember too was he was living in an apartment catty corner from the police station here in town, and he had been evicted from that apartment. and police had taken him out to the gospel mission on the southwest part of town and dropped him off there, and he had been staying there, and apparently he was having some sort of a conflict or a beef with somebody there at the mission, and so he left there, and that was the last time anybody had seen him.
Yeah.
So
Andrea says,
don't
I
know.
remember Kenny from the little time I lived in Salina. Such a sweet man.
Yeah.
This just came to me. I was working for a lady who had been in a wheelchair, and she was going over the tracks on iron, and her wheelchair leg got caught and it tipped. And I tried to get it myself, and I couldn't myself. And I looked around for help, and there was Kenny, and he helped me get her up. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Trisha says, I remember Kenny from when I worked at Salina Iron and Metal. He was always so sweet. Wow. Kenny's getting some love tonight.
Yeah, he is. I'm going to have to take one of his flyers by Salina Iron and Metal, because every time I go by there, I'm surprised they don't have one up already,
Right.
but I'm going to drop off one over there and have them see if they'll post that. Like I said, it must be under new ownership or something now, because they've completely changed the name of it and have a new fleet of trucks and painted the whole place.
And this comment, it says, my mom told the story that Kenny used to be married as a young man. His wife wanted a swimming pool, so he dug her one with a large kitchen spoon, but she left him anyway. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but it was a rumor.
Oh, wow.
That's a great rumor. If anything, he dug a pool with a spoon. I mean, Kenny's really getting some love tonight. It sounds like, a lot of people, I haven't seen one person be like, I didn't like Kenny. Everybody's like, I thought he was great,
Yeah.
So that makes me like, and you have like these people that were mean to him, but look at how many people liked him and appreciated who he was.
Dennis said, we'll do organizing searches can be tough. I'm sure it is. I mean, just that little time I helped to trying to get one going for Kenny here in town myself, it was difficult. I mean, it was difficult getting people to volunteer. And then we had a couple of people that were clashing and exchanging harshities, and it got out of hand real quick. So
yeah.
One person said, well, if this person shows up, I'm not showing up. And if this person shows up, I'm not. And it's like, oh my God, really? Right. Let's just put all the differences aside. We're here to look for Kenny, not all this other drama,
Well, let's talk about Donovan Jones from Overland Park, Kansas.
Alrighty, Donovan Jones, missing from Overland Park, Kansas, and since October 9th of 2021, he's 17. He is 5'9", weighs 170 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. And new information I just got is it's believed that he is in the Crossroads area in Kansas City, Missouri. And a picture on the right-hand side of the flyer I added to it last night. It's, as you can see, heavily filtered, but at least it shows how he's got his hair now. Again, he's 17, he's 5'9", weighs 170, has black hair and brown eyes. His ears are pierced. He frequently wears a ball cap or a hoodie to cover his hair up. If you have any information regarding Donovan's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Miami County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 913-294-3232 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get some information generated as to where he's at and get him back to where he needs to be.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do that.
Donovan, call somebody, let them know you're okay, and you're almost 18.
Yeah.
Just a little bit longer, and then you can just do whatever you want to do. But again, that doesn't give you a free pass to make bad choices. You have one life, so make good choices. Call somebody, let them know you're safe. Get yourself a plan going when you turn 18. Get yourself a plan. Move in with some friends. Move in with somebody you trust. Get a plan going. But this is not the way to do it.
Yep. The only focus should be on the missing person, Dennis. You're right. And Mondi says, I don't know Kenny, but I would love to be his friend.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was a good guy. He really was. I hope he's still around somewhere, just, laying low somewhere, but enjoying himself.
Yeah. Donovan's been missing since the 9th. It's the 21st. That's a long enough break, Donovan. If you're missing on your own volition and you see this, call somebody. It's been a while. You're worrying people. Yeah. And someday you'll understand it. Trust me. Someday you'll be 38 like me, and you'll be like, "Wow, that's really frightening to have somebody that's not an adult out unaccounted for. That's a really frightening situation, knowing what kind of world is out there." So call somebody, let them know you're safe.
Yep, definitely. Please do.
Let's go
Please do.
ahead and talk about Jacob Soltz.
Okay. Let's see. Where's this flyer hiding in my long list of flyers here?
Andover, Kansas.
Yes, since October 16th of 2021, 17 years old. He is 6'3.5", 160 pounds, reddish blonde hair, and light brown eyes. It's believed he may still be in Andover, or he could also be in Pratt, Kansas, or traveling to West Virginia. Again, he's 17, he's 6'3.5", weighs 160, has reddish blonde hair and light brown eyes. He has a tattoo of 3 small crosses on the left side of his neck, and a tattoo of a bird on his left hand, a tattoo of a rose on his right hand, and the tattoo of the word blessed on his fingers. And you can see there's a picture there of some of the tattoo work on his arm. If you have any information regarding Jacob's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Butler County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 316-320-1294 or 316-322-8817, or you can call them toll free at 866-484-5924. And, let them know what you know about where Jacob could be so we can get him found and back to where he needs to be.
I remember I snuck out when I was 17 and my mom caught me. And it was like this moment where she looked at me, I looked at her. And normally she would have went off on me. I had pretty strict parents. But I think she could kind of tell my 18th birthday was like 4 days away.
Mm-hmm.
So she kind of just looked at me and gave me the look, the look that no kid wants. Just I'm not going to do anything because I get it. You're going to be 18, in 4 days. So what can I do? But it was like, it's just really hurtful that, you're not 18 yet and you would do that, so it's like, it's disrespectful, like it's like you're almost 18, like, and that's when we see these 17-year-olds. I'm like, I get it, you're going to be 18. God, who knows how long, you're basically done being a kid, but it's like you're just not 18 yet, and people are going to worry about you. People are going to be, now again, when you turn 18, that still doesn't mean go where nobody you care about knows where you are. I mean, you got to let people know you're okay. You got to let people know you're safe.
Right. That's like my former mother-in-law used to say, the teen years are really hard because you're not a kid, but you're not an adult, and you're struggling to find your niche or where you belong in the midst of all that. Yeah, I agree with that.
It's a weird age for sure. I'm not saying it's easy being 17. I'm just saying you're so close to being an adult, and you have the whole world ahead of you. You have a whole life ahead of you, and I hate to say it, Jacob, and I hate to say it, Donovan, but every person in this world is just about 3 or 4 bad decisions away from living in a box somewhere.
Right.
It's really that easy to mess life up. So this is just not a good way to start out, guys. So let's get home and let's call somebody, let them know you're safe.
Yeah, we got some interesting comments popping up here. We used to saying these young kids want to run away because they don't like the rules. When they get older, they might need their mom or dad for a place to stay because of a bad situation. They need to remember this. Life changes, and you might have to go back home. That's very true. And this one's interesting here. Alicia Wheeler, can someone please contact me about how I can put together a search team in Independence, Missouri on October 15th? I picked up the person on the 435 southbound ramp from I-70 Stadium area, and I'm using my car maybe a total of a minute tops before he was insistent that I let him out. And when he exited the vehicle, I saw something extremely disturbing that I'm not going to put on here, but I need help searching for the contents he had in his possession. The police department to take my statement seriously. Crime scenes down to check my vehicle, but I do not know they're not actively searching.
Wow,
that's interesting. Maybe Dennis Ribble can lend us some help with that one, since he's does the Muddy Waters search and recovery. Maybe he's got some ideas he can give you, Alicia. So Dennis, if you're still watching and listening, if you could, point Alicia in the right direction, that'd sure be appreciated.
I'm wondering what she saw. I mean, I hope, she don't want to put it on here, but
yeah,
Curry, FBI.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting. Instead of searching for a person, searching for contents he had in his possession.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Message. Kansas missing and unsolved, Alicia.
Yeah.
Message the page. I just want to thank you guys for all you do. When I was struggling with my boys, Ricky Trebuggy, to help my family a lot, I really appreciate all you do.
You're very welcome, Nicole. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate that.
What about Jacob Winters? Youngster.
All right, yeah. Jacob Winters. That was one that I just did this morning, actually. He's missing from Wichita, Kansas. It's October 18th. He's 15. He is 6'2", weighs 220, has brown hair and brown eyes. He will most likely be wearing a hoodie of some sort. Don't have an exact description of color or anything like that. If you have any information regarding Jacob's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Jacob found and back home where he needs to be, back to a safe place. As being 15 and out there on the streets is no place to be. Definitely not.
Right.
Yeah, Carrie's saying Missouri Bureau of Investigation, maybe. That's possible.
Yeah.
But again, Dennis, if you want to reach out to Alicia Wheeler, Dennis, and see if you can help her out with maybe helping organize a search for
whatever she's looking
items
for,
rather than a person. I don't know if you'd be able to help her with that or not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mindy Wilcox says KBI is investigating my best friend's homicide for 2 months. Haven't gotten anywhere. So if anyone may know what happened or have information on Danny Little of Greenleaf, Kansas, please call the KBI or Washington County Police Department. Let me write that name down here. And if I don't have something made, I will definitely get something made. I don't believe I have anything made for him. I think I was going to at one time, but I'm having trouble finding information on what happened exactly.
Mindy, look at this. Population of 300 people. Someone has to know something. I got to tell you something, Mindy. And this isn't going to be something you're going to want to hear. The smaller the town, the harder it is to get to solve a murder. Because the thing is, I'm from a town of 1,800 people. There's a ton of murder. Not a ton. There's I think on the books, 6 or 7 murders. But there's 15, 20 suspicious deaths. But the thing is people know stuff and they say stuff, but they don't say it to the police. There's just something about small groups of people. It's called posse comitatus. It's we rule ourselves. We don't need to, and it's just old school small town mentality. And I know that I've had people tell me that they know certain things about crimes, and I'm like, please tell the police. Never. I would never tell the police that, and it's for a lot of different reasons. They're afraid for their safety. Again, it's just there's just where the smaller the group is. I think that it's really hard to solve stuff. She says, look, you're right. Unfortunately, it's just a too tight knit of a group. I don't know. There's too many people know each other. Too many powerful people know each other. I mean, it's just. And if somebody powerful does something horrific and harm somebody, good luck getting charges pressed on it. I mean, look at Michael Golub, for crying out loud. You can just, Anyway.
And Vista says, it is because everyone has everyone's back. If you say something, the whole town knows you said something.
Yeah. Trust me, you're speaking to the choir. I know. Like 6 deaths in my hometown where people actively, it's not even a did you hear? It's everybody knew, but nobody told the police. To this day, nobody's told the police.
And Mindy is saying thank you down there.
But tell you what, Mindy, you see my name there on the screen. If you add Evan in the middle, Derek Evan Relaford, you can send me a friend request on Facebook. I've been investigating these murders in my hometown for the past 5 years. I can't solve it, but if you need someone to listen to and someone to bounce ideas off of, definitely reach out to me, and I can give you some pointers on the best way to investigate something on your own, which is it's a daunting thing to do. You're not the police, I'm not the police, but you can look into these things on your own, and it is possible. So if you want to reach out to me, go ahead, and I can tell you, things that I started doing whenever I wanted to investigate some things from my hometown, for sure.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yep.
Let's talk about Tia Janice. That's a great name.
Yeah, it is.
And I said it right.
I think you did. Tia Janice, Wichita, missing from Wichita, Kansas since October 2nd of 2021. She's 15. She's 5'2", weighs 130 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Tia Janice's disappearance, or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011. Or the KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can't help get her found and back to where she needs to be.
The flyer says brown hair, but I'm seeing more of a blonde on top. Is that like an older picture, you think? Or
I'm not sure which one's the more recent of the two. She may have dyed it blonde.
Okay. Well, because I just the one on the right definitely. I mean, the one on the left, the top looks blonde to me, but I could see if it was just there's not as much shadow on it.
Right.
But the one on the right definitely looks blonde. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I hope Tia Janice. I hope you have somebody you can trust that you're in cahoots with right now. That somebody knows you're okay. But I hate to say it, but if somebody knows you're okay and they're not telling people where you are, that means be a little leery of their interest in your well-being. But if just call somebody, old teacher, somebody, an old parent of a friend, if you have somebody you worked for, anybody that you trust, somebody that you can tell something to. If you don't have somebody like that, reach out to Kansas Missing and Unsolved page, the Facebook page. And if you don't want to do that, you can reach out to any police department, go to a library, just go somewhere safe and say, hey, I need help.
Yep, definitely.
And we're going to go through a couple here because we do have about 12 minutes left in the show, and we got a located safe. So let's go ahead and talk about Dakota Gilmer.
Okay. Dakota Gilmer is missing from Park City, Kansas on October 17th, 2021. He is 17. He is 5'8" to 6'2", and that's a big swing, but that's the information I was given. Weighs between 160 and 170, has dirty blonde hair and blue eyes. It's believed he may be in Park City or he may be in Wichita. If you have any information regarding Dakota's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call Wichita, Kansas Police at 316-660-9452 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011. Or again, KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can help get him found and back to where he needs to be.
All right.
I'm going to fix that flyer.
Park City, Kansas. Didn't even know it existed. I learned something new this year show and the Free Zone with Norm.
Hang on just a second here. Yeah, 6'1". And she says he weighs 180, and she says I'm his girlfriend.
Is he okay?
So, Alexis Whitaker, thank you for that.
Wow. Yeah, your show and then the other podcasts I do in the Free Zone with Norm, he does high school sports. So he tells me all these towns every week. I'm like, I didn't know that town in Kansas existed. Kansas is a lot bigger than I thought, man. There's a lot of towns in Kansas. There's a lot of towns.
Chris is saying that Park City was where BTK serial killer lived. That's correct.
Really? Oh, so that's the Wichita area, I'm guessing.
Yeah, just north of Wichita. It's like a suburb to the north, I guess you'd say.
BTK.
Yep.
What a loser. Let's talk about Lillian.
Okay, Liliana Coleman is missing from Lawrence since September 12th of 2021. She's 16. She is 5'5", 130 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. It's believed she's still in Lawrence. If you have any information regarding Liliana's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call Lawrence, Kansas Police at 785-832-7509 or KBI 785-296-4017 and see if we can't generate some information to get her found and located and back to where she needs to be. And look who popped in, my other kid.
Oh, your kid has you.
You're fine. I hope you're feeling better. She's the one that's down with COVID right now. Excuse me. He. I gotta remember. See, lately, he's been identifying as male. So
Okay.
I have to remember that. I have to keep reminding myself of that. I have a hard time making that switch, but right now he's identifying as male.
Well,
so
that's awesome. What
Yeah.
are we doing here? Let me see. Okay, I moved some flyers around, so I'm a little confused back here. I think we have Malachi Rogers next.
Okay. I mean, I can find whichever one you pull up is fine. So he is missing from Wichita, Kansas since October 18th. He's 17 years old. He's 6'3" to 6'4", 200 to 130 pounds. Brown hair, blue eyes. It's believed he may still be in Wichita or he may be in the Ponca City, Oklahoma area. If you have any information regarding Malachi's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or the 316-263-6011 or KBI 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him found and back to where he needs to be.
Roxanne Fisher says, anyone that is listed as missing and needs someone to talk to, you can message me and I will listen and help if I can.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at or anything. He went missing from Wichita, Kansas, but he lives in... Oh, okay. Well, thanks for stopping by. And hopefully we can... hopefully somebody can locate him. If you're his girlfriend and you don't know where he is, that makes me just a little worried. You know, anytime somebody goes off radar, Alexis, it's just kind of scary. So if you don't know where he is, then that makes me a little worried. So hopefully you and everybody that is in his life that cares about him can help locate him and see, if he's okay. Maybe he needs someone to talk to. Maybe he needs a hug. I don't know. But if nobody knows where he is, that's scary.
I've also spoken with his dad a little bit too. So yeah, I know they're really looking for him.
Let's talk about Preston Hammond.
Okay. He is missing from, as soon as I find his flyer here, Wichita, Kansas, and he's been missing since October 18th, 2021. He's 17. He's 5'10", 140, brown hair, green and hazel eyes. It's believed that he is possibly in the Hayesville area as he frequents there. He is COVID positive and was recently released from the hospital to self-quarantine, but chose to run. Again, he's 17, 5'10", 140 pounds. He has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. He has Trust in God tattooed across his chest, which you can see there on the pictures. If you have any information regarding Preston's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Hayesville, Kansas Police Department at 316-529-5912 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get him located to make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
And my daughter says she's hurting, so
yeah, I hope she feels
too bad.
He feels better.
Hopefully, get over that COVID stuff and get back to school and stuff like that.
Yeah. What does this tattoo say? Trust in bad?
Trust in God.
God. Okay, that makes way more sense.
I don't know who did it, but it's trust in God.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes way more sense is trust in God. I was like, why would you write trust in bad? That's not good. But no, that's not what he said.
Candace Liston's here. Hey, Candace.
Oh, hey, Candace. Here we go. We got Pruitt Riley.
All right.
Have we covered Pruitt in the past?
We have in the past. Yeah, he was found. Okay. And then the same day he was found, he left again.
Okay.
He's missing from Mulberry, Kansas since October 18th of 2021. He's 17. He's 5'7" to 5'8", 200 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed that he might be in the Liberal, Missouri area. If you have any information regarding Pruitt's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Crawford County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-724-8274. All the Mulberry, Kansas Police Department is 620-764-3200 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him found and back to where he needs to be.
Right.
And I did notice this morning he left us a nice little comment on his flyer.
That was him.
Yep. Said, please stop posting me. And then he kind of left a derogatory comment after that I won't repeat. But it was not too nice.
Pruitt, we're just trying to help, buddy.
Yeah. In talking to Dennis Rubel a couple nights ago when discovered he went missing again on the 18th, he apparently had been commenting on Dennis Rubel's videos that he had done of Pruitt as well. So Dennis has been comments from him as well.
You know, like I don't mind it that he's, saying like, things at us. Because like it makes me think like when I was that age, I probably would have done something like that. It's normal. It's normal to be mad that especially if he's missing on his own volition and he doesn't want anybody to care about that because he's almost 18. I mean, I'm sure there's a part of him that's just like, can everybody just not care that I'm leaving, and doing my own thing? But it's just we have rules in this country, and you have to. You're almost there, Pruitt. You're almost 18, and then you can live wherever you want to live.
And that's the thing. We do this because we do care. And that's the thing. We do this because we do care.
Yeah. I mean, you're almost, I don't know when your birthday is, but you're almost there.
Yeah, I don't either.
You're close.
I'm sure it's got to be close.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's less than a year, whatever it is. Like that's once you get to my age where you're 38, a year goes by so quickly that it's scary.
Looks like we still got about
COVID
5 more to cover.
Seems like 5 months ago when it started, but it's been like 2 years. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Shira?
Yeah.
Or Priscilla?
Shira, she was formerly known as Priscilla.
Okay.
Is what I'm being told here. She's went missing from Garden City, Kansas on September 16th of 2021. She's 41 years old. She's 5'6", 115, black hair, blue eyes. It's believed that she's in Dodge City and she might be using a different name. There is concern for her safety because she's been homeless for some time and is likely in active psychosis. In the past, she's been known to be in Wichita, Hayes, Garden City, and Dodge City. Again, she's 41. She's 5'6", weighs 115 pounds. She has black hair, but she may be wearing wigs and has blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Shira's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Garden City, Kansas Police Department at 620-276-1300 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And I know there was a post done by a family member stating that they were pretty sure she was in Dodge City and they were trying to get the police to check on her to make sure she was okay, and they were waiting for confirmation on that. So as far as I know, they still haven't actually located her yet. So if we could help get some information generated as to where she's at, at least we can help get her found.
All right.
And Nicole saying him making comments shows that he's alive, and I feel that's at least a positive. It's a positive. The contents of the comments aren't so positive, but at least
like
these
17-year-old kid that allegedly maybe took off from home, so he might be in the mindset to say some choice words. I get it. Yeah. I'm not offended. Keep up the great work. We got a couple more to go through. We're just about done here. Let's talk about Taylor Criswell.
Okay, she's missing from here in Salina, Kansas since October 16th of 2021. She's 15. She's 5'5" to 5'6", weighs between 125 and 130 pounds. She has black hair, brown eyes. She has a piercing in her septum, and both nostrils are pierced. She has a tattoo on her right leg that reads, "I love you, Dad." She was last known to be wearing a black jacket, black shirt, and blue jeans. And if you have any information regarding her disappearance, her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department, 785-826-7210, or the KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can't help get her located and back to where she needs to be. And as of this afternoon, the Salina Police Department actually has Taylor's flyer on their Facebook page, so they are using it as well.
Yeah.
which is pretty good. I'm grateful that they are doing that. And thank you, Salina Police Department, for doing that.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed 100%.
Yep.
Now, I'm not going to try to say this name.
I am going to say it's Kaliuna is what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
Is what I'm hoping that I'm saying it right.
I think that sounds right.
And she's missing from Wichita, Kansas since October 17th of this year. She's 13. She's 5'6", 120 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen in the area of the 300 block of North Ash in Wichita. She was last seen wearing a yellow tank top, khaki pants, and flip-flops. If you have any information regarding Kaliuna's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get her found and back to where she needs to be, because being 13 and missing for 4 days, that's 4 days too long.
That's way too young.
Especially at 13. Shanna Holstead from Wichita says, Sup from Wichita. Sup, Shanna. And Diane is asking anything new on Charles Henry. And I have not heard anything on Charles's case. I'm going to have to dig in on that one and see if I can find anything. We do need to cover him again. It's been a while since we've covered him, that's for sure.
We got 2 more flyers and then one thing we're going to cover. We're going to get through it. We got this next flyer here. This is going to be Melanie Davidson. Go ahead. 13 again.
Yeah. We've done her before, and unfortunately, she decided to go missing again. From Wichita, Kansas, since October 8th of 2021. She's 13. She's 5'6", weighs 200 pounds, blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Melanie's disappearance, you know of her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get her found and back to where she needs to be. Again, another 13-year-old. She's been missing for, 2 weeks or almost 2 weeks?
Yeah.
We need to get her found back to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's the only picture I have of her. So if anybody else has any pictures of her that are better than that, feel free to send them to me and I will add them to the flyer.
Yeah. And then we have Zebediah Zab Atchison, and I know we've covered Zebediah before.
Yes, we have, sadly. And where is his? There it
Wichita,
is.
Kansas.
He's missing from Wichita again since September 25th of this year. He's 16. He's 6'1", 160 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Zebediah's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get him located back to where he needs to be.
This just says, seems like these kids are getting younger and younger that are running away.
Sounds that way. I agree with that. It's a trend I don't like.
Diana said it's so sad and scary that these young ones are out there like that.
Yeah.
Shanna says, where do these kids go? Wherever there has to be an adult that should let someone know. Yeah.
I was told once that a lot of these kids that do run or go missing or whatever, that they tend to have their own, what's the word I want? They have their
network?
Own, like, network's one word, or like their own neighborhood or gathering spot or whatever. And I didn't know that until I was informed of that. And I was like, oh, okay. So apparently some of them apparently know each other.
Yeah. You know why, and it's sad. And, it's because they probably know each other from group homes.
That could be. That could very well could be.
I mean, anytime you have two people that are in foster care that know each other and they're not siblings, they're probably in a home together for maybe a week, a year, a month. Who knows? They were probably in each other's lives for a minute. So that's why,
Right.
and that's why it's scary. Vista says, I know it breaks my heart that they feel this is the best thing to do. I agree. And we don't know their life, and we don't know, we're not saying that you don't have a reason to run, but we're just saying it's not a good option.
I'll have to get Brandon Zeb's. I have a different flyer for Zeb that I put up after that one where I was sent more photos and added more photos to it.
Nice.
So I'll have to get that one over to Brandon so he can have those other photos.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and cover this. This is gonna be a actually, yeah, let's do it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cover this I-70 thing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the big news on that is, like Derek was talking about earlier, is they released these 2 age-enhanced sketches of the I-70 serial killer in hopes of trying to generate some new information on that. And they've kind of updated. They thought at the time when here a few years ago that he might have been in his 50s. Well, now they're saying that they believe that he may be between 52 and 70, and that his hair color may be different than I think they said reddish brown or sandy blonde hair with red tint, I think it was. That they're thinking it may be, I'm thinking that they're thinking it may be more along the lines of gray, more gray in it, or possibly even white, possibly. So yeah, I mean, that's the big news on that, but I'll kind of recap some information on that. The timeline on it, as far as victims goes, the first one was April 8th of 92 in Indianapolis, Indiana. The victim's name is Robin Fuldauer, 26. She was working at a Payless shoe store at 7235 Pendleton Pike. Her body was discovered in the store about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. A small amount of money was missing from the store. The next one attributed to the I-70 serial killer was in Wichita, Kansas on April 11th, so 3 days later. The victims were Patricia Makers and Patricia Smith. Patricia Makers was 32, Patricia Smith 23. They were working at the La Bridal Shop on 4613 East Kellogg. Their bodies were found in the store about 6:30 p.m. Money was missing from the shop, along with some personal property belonging to one of the victims. The next one up was in April 27, 92. The only male victim was Michael McCown, 40. He was killed in his shop, Sylvia's Ceramics, 2615 South 3rd Street. His body was discovered by a customer at about 4:15. McCown was the only male victim in the series because of the circumstances, including the fact that he wore his hair very long. Police assessed that the killer, watching from outside, mistook McCown for a woman until he entered the store. Next victim was May 3rd, 1992, St. Charles, Missouri. Nancy Kitzmiller, age 24. She was a graduate of Fort Zumwalt High School and Oklahoma State University. She was found by customers in the back room of Boot Village at 2079. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Zumbell Road in Bogies Hills Plaza at about 2:30 in the afternoon. Cash was missing from the store. Next victim was May 7th, 1992. In Raytown, Missouri, Sarah Blessing, 37, was killed at the store of many colors at 11,573 East 63rd Street about 6:30 p.m. A small amount of money was missing from the register. These 6 murders were committed with the same caliber as a .22 caliber pistol. Ammunition recovered at the crime scene was matched by FBI lab. They suspect the gun was either an Intratec Scorpion .22 caliber ammunition, CCI brand .22 caliber long rifle with copper cloud lead bullets, or an Irma Work model ET-22 .22 caliber. Let's see here. Got some other information here as well. Let's see, back in 2012, that was the 20th anniversary, so we're looking now at it being the 29th anniversary, if my math is correct, of Nancy Kitzmiller's murder. There was some other information regarding the ammunition. The ammunition was a CCI brand .22 caliber long rifle, copper clad lead bullets. Found on the cartridge cases were 2 substances, corundum and a red material consistent with rouge. Both of these substances, corundum, which is used as an industrial abrasive, and rouge, which is used as an industrial polish, are used in grinding, buffing, and polishing a wide variety of materials, including firearms. It's possible that the killer lived or worked in an environment where grinding, buffing, or polishing was performed, possibly with a buffing or grinding wheel. So there's a little bit of information on the background of the gun. As far as the suspect information, he was a white male, and at the time he was believed to be in his mid-20s to mid-30s, probably closer to 30s in 92. Today he's probably between 52 and 70. He was described as about 5'7" to 5'9", weighing at about 140 to 160 in 1992. Had a slender to medium build with light brown to dull auburn red hair, cut short, and beard stubble on his face. And again, they think that as he's aged, his hair is probably grayed or went white or something. If you have any information in reference to any of these crimes or anything, you're requested to call the St. Charles, Missouri Police Department at 636-949-3300 or their 800 number, 800-800-3510, or you can submit anonymously at 636-949-3333, or you can email them at www.stcharlescrimestoppers.org or text STCPD plus your message to 274637. Anyone having information on the two homicides in Wichita can call Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181 or 316-268-4111 and submit your information that way. And they believe, last I had heard, they believe that he had potentially made his way down to Texas, and he has some possible victims in Texas, including one that did actually survive. And I will cover them briefly here. Let me see. I got to open this one up real fast here. I forgot to open this one up. One of them's name is Mary Ann Glasscock. She was 51. Worked in Emporium Antiques in Fort Worth, Texas. Her death occurred September 25th, 1993. Amy Vest, 22, worked at Dancer's Closet Dance Apparel Store, Arlington, Texas. She was murdered on November 1st, 1993. Vicki Webb was 35. She worked at Alternatives Gift Shop in Houston, Texas on January 15th, 1994, and she was the surviving victim. And they think that they maybe possibly linked to the I-70 killer as well. So if anybody has any information on any of those crimes or might have information on who this person may be, please call that in and see if we can't solve that. I mean, it's been well over 20 years. And it's time to give these families some closure and bring the person that did this to justice. Of course, being that it's been so long, it's possible this person is already incarcerated on something completely different or even dead.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. I hate when people do. Like, you just look on the left there. He caused that much havoc, and there's a chance he's just watching the Tonight Show right now.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's interesting that the two guns that, I mean, you can see pictures of them down there at the bottom. They're so different. I mean, they're both 22s, but they're just such different models. It's interesting. Yeah. Hopefully they can, this, and my understanding in reading one of the articles is they were saying, I believe next month it is, they're going to have a big, like a brainstorming section or meeting, whatever you want to call it, to try to come up with, different ways to maybe investigate this, or they planned on having a meeting next month to discuss the investigation, basically. And there is still a $25,000 reward on the table for information concerning this case. So there's that also.
Wow.
Yeah, but it looked like he definitely was targeting women that were working alone, that's for sure. And like I said, they made the one mistake with the one man because they feel like because his hair was longer and his back was to the killer, he just automatically assumed it was female and shot him.
He's such a big, scary man picking on women. It's like, what a loser.
And said one of the better reports or better description of him came from an eyewitness in Raytown, a video store owner in a strip mall where one of the shootings happened. Saw a man enter a neighboring gift shop, then heard a pop. Grocery store clerk saw a man climb a hill to I-70 and disappear. The video store owner found the body of Sarah Blessing inside the shop.
Wow.
So they saw him departing, and from what I understand, he was pretty decently dressed. It wasn't like he was going in all shabby dressed or anything. He was dressed pretty decently. So
wow.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine. That being the family of one of these victims and not having an answer as to who. As you can see up there on the top above the victims' pictures, there's a wide variety of composite sketches that have been done over the years.
Uh-huh.
Now, the one where it says I-70 serial killer, the two composites right under it where it says I-70 serial killer. I remember when I worked at Boston Truck Plaza here in town back in the 90s, and it was just right on the heels of Catherine Adams disappearing that law enforcement brought that composite out to us and had us posted out there. And I made a copy of it, and I still have that copy to this day. But I don't know if they felt like maybe he might have been connected to Catherine Adams or what.
wow.
But I mean, it kind of fit the MO a little bit. I mean, she was working by herself, loading her stuff up at the storage facility, and was shot there. I don't know.
The only difference is though, like he left his victims there.
Yeah,
like they didn't find her.
That's true. That's the only big difference.
Like that would be a huge difference because if his MO is to go into a random place when nobody's looking and shoot just a random stranger and then get out of town, that's what he usually does. I just don't see him, first of all, following somebody around from a store or wherever he saw her, following her around, and then just if I feel like if this guy was with Catherine Adams, they would have found her body at the storage shed.
Yeah.
But you're watching the Kansas. Sorry about that. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We have a great located safe video right now brought to you by Brandon Smith, B Smith Productions. He's a big help to the Kansas Missing and Unsolved team.
He is greatly appreciated too.
But we'll be right back after this.
I always love those located safe reels.
Me too.
And thank you, Brandon, for putting those together.
Absolutely.
And again, I just now that I got you both on camera here, I again want to thank you both for covering the show last week while I was gone. You guys did an incredible job.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem.
Greatly appreciated, considering I was dealing with some stuff I had to deal with. So,
I wanted to talk about some of these comments.
Okay.
You want to read these, Ricky?
Starting from which one?
Right here, I got it pinned.
Okay. It's sad that these young kids think they have no other option but to run away, but they can't trust the adults in their lives to ask for help. It means we need to do better. Just a thought.
That's a big yes. Like,
And Diana Hayden, I'm sure many of them are runaways from group homes. I'm sure group homes aren't fun, but there has to be better options than running. Definitely.
I mean, of course, a group home's not fun. I mean, that's the reason I know all this stuff is because I'm really good friends with somebody who grew up in that environment, and it's not fun.
And Roxanne Fisher Jackson says, I was on a ride along when the call came into Wichita, the bridal shop. Oh, man.
Wow.
Mondi, unbelievable. Makes you wonder if he wanted to get caught with the crimes being done in public stores and during the day. It makes you wonder, but they didn't catch him.
Right.
And you got to remember, too, back in 92, 93, when he was doing those, not too many places had security cameras installed in their stores at that time.
Right.
And Diana says, pretty traumatic, eh?
Yeah.
Are you Canadian, Diana? Carrie says, yeah, but if there's abuse in a group home, they might be scared to be moved to an even worse place. I know a few people that grew up in foster care, and that's when they've told me that they have put up with a lot of abuse, run away, or stay and face it, or telling their foster parents, and gamble at being placed in a worse place. And Dakota Gilmer has a tattoo on his right forearm of an arrow, which I've jotted that down because I want to make sure I add that to the flyer. Oops. And Diana says, good info to share. And Vista, the best part of when we get to see the located safe. And Diana says, my favorite part of the show. Thank you guys for all you do. Yep, I like the located safe reels myself. Those are awesome. And sadly, pretty soon we're going to have to do a located deceased reel, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wish they could all be found safe, but I know.
Oh, look at that.
And Tammy Israel says that Jakota is her son. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm praying he's found soon and safe as well, Tammy. And thank you for the tattoo information.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw Tammy, but yeah, I don't know if you saw Tammy, but Jakota's girlfriend was commenting earlier regarding his height and weight, kind of clearing us up on the correct height and weight there.
Yeah, it's up in the comments.
Yeah.
If you scroll up.
Yep.
But good show.
Yeah.
When are we back?
It is going
26th.
to be 26th. You're correct, sir.
So really
Tuesday,
soon.
October 26th.
Be back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Short turnaround shows.
Yeah.
And then it's a whole
safe and in your living arms soon. Thank you, Carrie.
long time until we do a show again.
Yeah. A whole 6 days? 6 days.
No, I'm talking about after that.
Oh yeah, when we do the Tuesday to Thursday turnaround, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like forever.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, we need to go. We need to go live every night. What do you guys think in the chat? You think we should just go live every night?
I get antsy, on the long turnaround from Tuesday to Thursday. It's like, come on, I want to do another show. I can't wait till Thursday.
Yeah.
There's people that need to be found. We need to get these out there,
We have enough cases to go every night. I mean, we have cases every day.
And I know we've tossed around the idea of maybe doing one standalone video, for one case and putting that.
Well, we're going to make a video out of the last one you covered, that one that you read for a long time. What was that?
The I-70 killer?
No, like 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, Ricky did a really where we first had that idea. We were like, we should upload that by itself.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I know. Oh man, yeah, I know what you're talking about because it was a long one.
Yeah, but we plan on maybe sometime. I'm actually gonna do that this weekend. I'm off for the next 2 days. I'm gonna chop that up. But yeah, we're gonna plan on like releasing some of these things as segments because that not everybody tunes in for the whole show. Some people tune in for 4 or 5 minutes at a time. That's it. So, and that's another thing. In the morning, you should get an alert that the podcast for tonight's show will post. So you should see it on Facebook tomorrow morning. So,
and Carrie's saying, "Order what about Tuesday and Thursday?" LOL. Yeah, I wish we could do that. I mean, we're doing them on the evenings of my night off or my day off from work because it's just easiest for me to be able to be available all day to be able to get things ready for the show or make flyers as I need to before the show or whatever. So that's why we do them on the days that we do them is because it's the evening of my day off. So.
And I just want to thank all of our podcast listeners. We had 1,400 downloads this week.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you guys for that. That is amazing.
So
sounds like they do better when I'm not on the show.
We had 380 downloads on the 13th.
Awesome.
So it's awesome. People are listening. So we really appreciate that. But I think, Tuesday or Thursday, that's what we're going to do. As soon as me and Ricky win the lottery, we're going to go Monday through Friday. So don't worry about that.
Thank you, Trisha. I appreciate it.
Well, Ricky, I think it's about that time, man. You know the words to say. And Ricky, you done forgot the prayer tonight. That's your job.
Yes, I did. I completely forgot it. My bad. God forgive me. I forgot to do our pre-show prayer before we went on. My bad.
Well, as your producers, me and Brandon, it's
Yeah.
really our bad. We should have really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's
really
funny
done something.
is as soon as you had brought it up, I was like, you know what we didn't do? In my mind, I was like, he didn't do the pre-show prayer. So
Yeah, my bad.
Uh,
But no, it was a great show tonight and a great turnout. And I love the feedback from everybody during the show, the comments and everything. You know, it's great to see that. Great to see where you're all from, and appreciate everybody that watches every week. It really means a lot. It really does.
it really does.
You know, it really, really does. I'm grateful for everybody that comes and watches and shares and downloads, and you know, it's just unbelievable. But and thank you guys for that, definitely. With that being said, though, until we come back and see you guys on Tuesday the 26th, you guys take care, stay safe, God bless, and we will see you then. Have a good night and stay safe.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.